What's going on, everyone? Going to the history, coming to you here from the Magic Kingdom parking lot. And I'm here to do some filming locations. It's probably going to be a couple video length, or it's going to be a couple of trip length attempts at getting this video. I may just take and do part 1, part 2. But we're here to show the filming locations from a show that was filmed here. And it was released on February 20th of 1996. That show was done in a 2-part episode. All aired on February 20th of 1996, and that show was Roseanne, Season 8, Episodes 16 and 17. They came here to Walt Disney World. I've covered it on my channel once before. I covered the hotel that was used. It's now the Hyatt Regency. It's a good distance away. It's kind of ironic in the sense that you have Jackie, who's looking out the window at the hotel, seeing the Seven Seas Lagoon, when in reality, Seven Seas Lagoon is over here at Magic Kingdom, and the hotel where they stayed is probably about 6 or 7 miles away. But we're going to film the Magic Kingdom locations today. We may or may not make it to the Epcot locations. If not, then it may be a part 1 and part 2. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. So you know all the interesting things we're going to be checking out today. We're going to see some of the locations, see as many as we possibly can in this video based on the time we have. So, come along with me.
Man, it's so clean.
I know. Look, I can see myself in the cement.
I want to live here. No, I want to be worthy of living here.
Here we are at the second scene of this episode where they take and you all stand up where they're going to go, and Dan says, I don't care as long where we go as long as I get my beer and my sandwich at lunch, to which Jackie says they don't serve beer at Magic Kingdom, they do it at Epcot. There's a slight little pause, and then Roseanne tells Dan, go. And then you see him running back towards the entrance of Magic Kingdom, supposedly running to Epcot. So we'll see what that scene looks like here in just a second. So it's right here in front of me is where this scene took place. It'll be kind of interesting to see what mode of transportation did Dan take, because there's not a direct path. There is the monorail, but he runs in the opposite direction. So we'll see.
Hey, where are we going to go first?
Well, I'll go wherever as long as I get my sandwich and my beer at lunch.
They don't serve beer in the Magic Kingdom, Dan. They do at Epcot. Go.
We are now at the scene where Roseanne and Jackie are in competition with one of the janitorial staff, whereas Roseanne keeps throwing popcorn down on the ground, and the guy keeps cleaning up, and then Jackie plays the game with a wrapper from an ice cream sandwich, and then Roseanne calls over one of the representatives from Disney, who then kind of politely scolds Jackie. So let's see the scene here in just a second.
Would you stop littering? I'm not littering, Jackie. This is a friendly competition. Let me try that. Let me try that. No, that's not gay. No, where's he gonna go with that? Where's he gonna throw that? Over here? No, over there. That's it. Hey, Disney guy, come here quick. Oh, Roseanne. Oh, you asked for it. This one is littering and totally destroying my fantasy experience. Do your thing, Carl. Bust her. Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm sorry, I couldn't help noticing you had difficulty holding on to your refuse. I'd just like to point out that here at the Magic Kingdom, we provide numerous trash containers for your convenience.
Okay, here we are at Epcot, and this is one of the hardest scenes to try to get because they're doing a whole bunch of construction, so they have all these massive walls up around the theme park. So I couldn't get lined up exactly where the shot was, but this is the scene where Dan makes it to Epcot, stops and sees this long line of people hanging outside of Spaceship Earth, and he has a conversation with them because he's like, hey, is this the beer line? No, we're looking at, Spaceship Earth, all the different amazing things, the features of it, the weight and all that stuff. And he says, so this isn't the beer line? And the lady's like, no. And he goes, pfft. And then he runs away. So we're going to see the scene right here in just a second.
Is this the beer line? Oh, no, we're just looking at Spaceship Earth. I mean, look at this. It weighs 16 million pounds, 180 feet in height, and encompasses 2.2 million cubic feet of space. So this isn't the beer line? No.
This is another one of the scenes. Now we're in Great Britain. And this was a really famous scene where Dan goes and sits down and says, give me one of your best pints of British ale. And he says, would that be a half pint, pint, or yard? To which Dan goes, what's a yard, bloke? And he shows him this 3-foot tall beer that another customer got. And he goes, I want that. Give that to me. So this is in Great Britain right here. So this is a pretty cool place. As soon as you come into Great Britain, it's right there on the left side after you come out of Canada, I believe. So, nice for people to come here and connect the pictures to the, to the location, how it looks today in 2023. One of the interesting things that I saw that a fellow YouTuber, World of Micah, pointed out was the fact that the curtains and the rod were exactly the same as they were back during filming over 20 years ago. So that's a cool little fun fact to know, is that those curtains are still the same ones that were used back when filming happened. So, nice little bit of, history, movie history, theme park history. So, a little tidbit that most people probably wouldn't have noticed. But as you can see, you still can come to this area. There's no longer any chairs here. There's actually a restaurant right behind me where you can take and sit down and you can watch the fireworks at nighttime. To what I believe it's fairly expensive. I know I was calling to a couple different reservations, and they were anywhere between $80 and $100 per person to get the seating that faced towards the fireworks display. So if you're planning on taking advantage of one of those amenities, be prepared to spend a lot of money. So here's the clip right here.
What's your pleasure on this face, pre-morning? That was Shakespeare, wasn't it? Give me your best British ale, please. Right then, is that a half pint, pint, or yard? What's a yard, bloke? Well, that's one right there. I've died and gone to England.
Transition over to Morocco. This is where you can see Dan sitting right here at the fountain right in front of me. He has his beer and he's listening to the musicians play their music, to which he says, hey, do you know this one? To which he does some nose soundings, and then they start playing the song. They play it again. He gets up and starts dancing. So this is a pretty iconic scene as well. And this one's right as soon as you come into Morocco, you look to the right, and the fountain is right there, and it looks exactly like it did over 20 years ago. So if you want to come and check out this scene from movie history, it's right there. Okay, and this is one from the nighttime scene. Once the sun went down, they're about to go watch the fireworks. Right in front of me is the bridge where Becky and Mark were standing, and Goofy comes walking up, to which Mark pulls her closer to him, and she looks at Goofy, and then she snuggles into Mark. I can't get as close as I wanted to match up the video shots perfectly because there was a private event happening. As you can see, there's some black tables and stuff, so it's blocked off. They wouldn't even let people go to and take a picture really quickly. So unfortunately, I couldn't get this picture exactly right. I was debating on coming back, but here's the clip right here. Right there is the bridge. They're doing a private event on the other side, so I can't get a good shot based off of the visuals from the Roseanne episode. But that is the bridge right there. They're over facing out towards the lagoon. So I'll insert some clips showing you the scene. You can kind of get the gist of, where the bridge was, what they're looking at. You have the scene where Mark and Becky are standing there, and then Goofy comes over next to Becky, and then Mark kind of pulls Becky closer to him. Yeah, let's check out some more spots. Now we make the transition over to Germany. So here we are in Germany. As soon as you come into Germany, there is a beer stand right here on the right-hand side. That's where Dan and Roseanne famously have the Sergeant Schultz, Hogan's Heroes role-playing that they have, where Roseanne comes over saying she's a French spy to help liberate him. And they go back and forth with interrogation. And that happened right here. So as soon as you come into Germany, if you're coming from the side where Morocco and stuff is, it'll be on your right-hand side. If you're coming from the Mexico, Japan side, it will be on your left-hand side. So it's right here in front of me. It looks exactly the same as it did back in over 20 years ago. So it's not hard to miss, and you can line up most of the shots pretty easily. So yeah, right here in front of us is the place where you can get a beer, the same place where Roseanne and Dan stood over 20 years ago.
Ein beer, por favor. So this is Germany, huh? This is incredible. Yeah, I'm glad I stopped by here because this is a country I know most about. So where's that Sergeant Schultz, huh? Sergeant Schultz, that killed me.
Do not turn around. My name is Zoe. I am with the French underground. I've come to liberate you.
How do I know you're not an imposter?
To prove I am French, bring me a snail and I will eat it.
Not good enough. I need more proof.
I believe that snail is covered with the stinky cheese that smells like the feet.
Anyone could say that.
To prove to you that I am French, let me give you the case.
I need more.
In the dresser drawer, the bottom drawer, underneath their socks, is a bag of Cheetos.
Jerry Lewis is late supreme genius, no?
Viva la Professor de la Nutty.
Oui.
It grieves me, my love, to tell you this, but the Cheetos, they are gone.
Damn this war.
So as always, I hope you enjoyed this filming locations video, something I've been wanting to cover for a long time. Finally had a chance to come here and cover some of them. This is part one of a two-part series. There was just so many locations I needed to get, some in Epcot still, as well as some in Magic Kingdom. So there will be a part two to this video. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure you do so you don't miss out on part two, as well as all the other filming locations, haunted locations, true crime, historic locations, famous graves, and so much more. Continue to look for history and film. Have a great day, everyone.